Hello, John. Another
John.
week. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Not too bad. How'd your week go?
That's not too bad, John.
Yeah.
Busy week here, where classes are flying and,
That's good.
getting back into the kind of post-Christmas.
Yeah, it's like if Christmas was never here now, really, isn't it?
Good. Do you know what?
Yeah.
When Christmas goes for me, I want it. That's it. It's done.
Yeah,
because
start
it
the
starts
year
so
and get on
early.
with it.
Let's move on. January for me,
It's not a particularly good month. It's a depressing month at the best of times, but
it can be.
But it really leads into what we're on about today. Now,
they say that's a perfectly good segue, don't they, into what?
Yeah, into people bills,
financial troubles. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, we were talking. Besides the high cost of living, as people get themselves into debt for Christmas, credit card bills start to come in around now. Then you've got your probably your electricity bill will be of the highest this
Massive,
year because the usage. And I know they're starting to bring down the bill a bit. The price of the unit a little bit has come down a couple of times. Now, I don't think it'll ever match from when it was.
No, what it was beforehand.
No, but it's helpful. You can see it already in the bills. It's not as bad, especially with the government kind of subsidy as well.
In fairness, we are lucky. In fairness, I know we all have a hop off the government and things, but we are lucky in that case. Yeah, we are getting some sort of a supplement.
In that respect, but I mean,
But the thing is, not everyone is getting it then either.
And that's if you're lucky to have a home.
Yeah,
but we won't go down that one.
Yeah.
Look, I suppose there is help for people out there because you're only human, and there's only so much you can kind of process, and death can really lead people down to despair and depression and all that. And it is a factor in suicide and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It does. Because, if you can't see your way out of a black hole, that's a very dangerous place to be.
Must be very hard. And that goes for anyone.
Yeah. And we were looking about like MABs. Everyone has heard about MABs. They would help you if they're very good. Say if you're struggling with your mortgage payments and your household bills and trying to put some money away. MABs are as a free service that you can make an appointment with, and they'll sit down and talk to you, and they'll do up a financial plan with you, and they'll try and guide you. And they've got they're open. Their helpline is open 9 to 8 Monday to Friday.
That's very good.
So that's good, yeah. And you can make an appointment, and I think they used to be. I'm not too sure if they're up by the Citizens Advice there on Henry Street.
I think they were before, John. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure where they are, but we'll give out the helpline at the end of this.
Yeah.
I suppose now. They do mortgage arrears, so they'll go through all that, how that works. That's very confusing. Mortgages are very confusing at the best of times with all the different rates. So they, financial supports and advice. They do legal support. So, they'll give you, now it won't be like a solicitor, but they'll give you an overview of your legal implications of your debts.
And say with a mortgage now, John, would these people actually talk to the bank for you?
I don't think they will. No, they'll guide you.
They'll guide you, but you have to handle that.
As far as I know, they don't. But they'll guide you and they'll give you the advice you need. And, there is financial brokers who you can look around to get better rates or the bank. But the thing is with the bank, no, you need to be earning
astronomical money. Yeah.
And then they want big deposits.
Yeah.
And it's much harder now than it has been for a long time.
Yeah.
To get a mortgage. But people are still getting mortgages, as tough as it is. But then the housing crisis is there. They often say some houses are going for 100,000 more than the original asking price.
That's right. All you're hearing is it's a seller's market, not a buyer's market.
Well, it is. Yeah. I mean, there was some fella put up something there in I think it was in Thomas Street, and what would have been known as a bedsit before. And they called it a studio apartment now. And basically, you walked in, the kitchen was to your right, and the left end was we'll call it a living area, and then up like a little plinth, like you'd see when the guitarists would play in a pub, was your bed. It really was the same room.
That was your room.
Yeah. And it was 700. That's €90 a month.
So there's no incentive to come home at night there to a bed sit.
No, it was a bed sit.
Yeah.
Really. Calling it something else. So look, anyway, there's that. So they'll give you, they'll help you with all that. I think there's another crowd called Awalya, and they help people who are behind in their mortgage payments, that are in arrears, to find a solution.
Never heard of them, no, John?
No, I don't know too much about them.
Yeah.
So if you qualify for Awalya services, you get a voucher to contact an expert from the panel. So, I suppose that you talk to someone in, and if they deem you eligible, you get this voucher, and it's provided free of charge, and it's funded by the government. It's in the government's best interest to keep people in their own homes.
I think it is too.
No, we're not really it takes a lot to be, evicted from your home, but it does happen.
I think the banks have lost patience with people now, though, because years ago,
But the law will.
you could speak to a bank,
Yeah.
but now there's so many of these, call it, you firstly, no, not blaming the banks or anything. Sometimes you don't know who owns your mortgage.
No, you don't.
If the bank sells it off.
Yeah.
Your mortgage could be sold to what they call the hedge funds.
Yeah.
Is that what you call them?
Yeah.
And they have no patience.
No.
Whatever about a bank having patience with you.
No.
They want, and it's some people we've heard around the country, or even, people that try to be forced out,
Yeah, well, look, the thing is, the judges and stuff, once you engage with them, generally,
I think, once you engage with the banks,
it looks very favourable in court.
Yeah.
You have to engage.
You have to
if you refuse, if you're one of these, if you refuse to engage, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But if you try to engage and say, look, you can pay X amount, and let's be honest, some of the rates went up very high there. So I suppose, look, the first thing is to contact MABS, and they have these kind of steps in tackling debt, I suppose. And being in debt, I suppose, can mean different things to different people. So whether you owe one debt or more, we all owe more. Everyone has more than
Everyone
one.
has more,
If you have a credit card, if you have a credit union on, that's more than one debt. And if you have a mortgage, the mortgage is the biggest one you'll ever have. Or even rent is a debt, really. It's an ongoing.
Rent is a debt,
So there are 5 steps. There are tools to help understand and plan your finances. So there's online tools, and I suppose that's helpful in that I'm one of these visual people. I need to see everything in front of me. So if I see my incomes, my outgoings, then you match them up in your eyes. What's the bit?
See what the shortfall is.
Hopefully not shortfall, but what you can spend, what you can. You know what we used to go to the cinema money, the heading out for a meal money. They're all. You need that. The work-life balance is.
Well, you have to have something
what's
to fall. So that's
otherwise?
what's the point of working if there's not to fall? So
And unfortunately, that's become tighter and tighter, and it's narrower.
Yeah.
So in MABS, the recommendation is that you take a breath, step back, while you look at the overall debt situation. You take stock of your income and your spending and your bills, like we were saying. You think about your options. You don't jump into the first thing. You think about what options have you. And then you make a solid plan that you stick to, and you tackle the whole problem. So this puts you in control, which you have to be because it's your debt, the person that's reaching out to MABS to reach a solution that works best for you. So the first step there, John, they recommend is to gather together all your financial information. Every penny, your Prime account, your Netflix, your Xbox Online, whatever it may be, up to your broadband bills and everything. You have to gather up with all that stuff. So you get a clear picture of what you owe and what you can afford. So you might have to cut back, You might have to cut back on you have that full Sky package. Maybe you don't watch Sky.
Maybe you'll have to,
No, maybe that's the kind of way to bring it down so you can afford it.
I think I don't know a person that hasn't done that.
No, everyone does that. You prioritise, don't you?
Same with the Sky Sports. Unfortunately, a lot of people, I love my sports and whatnot, but when you can't afford to...
It's expensive.
It is expensive. You can't afford it.
Get a good deal,
unless you get a deal off of Sky, maybe 6 months deal, and it could get it for a couple of pounds, but after that, if it goes up after that...
No, I think like Sky Sports, this is without like the extra sports channels. That's only I think it's only the Sky version. It's 45 before you get a deal, isn't it?
Top of whatever else you're paying, your broadband and whatever.
It's expensive. So I suppose it's saying you gather all that information. So it's any bills, debts, and any assets. The assets probably be the house and the car. So you can draw up your own list and use there's a thing online, they call it their full financial picture tool. So you input everything into that. It's all like not stored, not saved online.
Everything's secure.
Because a lot of people, you can do that with your Excel at home, but not everyone can use that. So this is the user kind of easier to use because it's made for the lay person. So then you deal with any urgent and priority debts first. So what's urgent? Your
mortgage would be priority.
The mortgage is first. Your utilities.
Your gas, your electric,
your roof over your head, your heat.
And
then your food, and then your Sky. You're not using Sky is just your entertainment. We'll call it. That comes next, and what you can afford. So you deal with them. So you make sure they're dealt as a priority. So you can read about the different types of credit, explore your options, and know and act quickly. And there's a lot of information on their website about this. So you can find out more advice about everything on their online system. So what are priority debts and what are secondary debts? So your priority debts, we just walked through the mortgages or your utility bills. Your secondary debts then could be your ongoing broadband, your Sky, this and that. So you look at any ways to improve your finances. So you have completed their full financial picture. You can look for possible improvements before you decide the best that's cutting the things
That's
you don't need.
cutting back.
Cutting back and
Yeah.
kind of prioritizing. Like, I suppose I did hear stories before, like, you know, like the fridge should have, you should have stuff in your fridge, and that the 50-inch TV should be after that, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you get your
It's not
priorities are your security or home. There's a thing called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and basically you learn it in sociology, and what it is, it's all about this kind of pyramid thing that works its way down. It's all these basic needs we have as a human being, and there's security, sustenance, there's a roof over your head, and there's a hierarchy, so which means like
when it builds down to the left,
your security and your health and your well-being, they're first.
Yeah, but that's true.
Your entertainment and stuff,
Yeah.
it is secondary.
Yeah.
So you gotta prioritize.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it.
That's where you probably cut back first if you had to cut back.
Absolutely.
You'd probably in your prime,
Yeah.
your blah blah blah.
Whatever it may be.
We're not naming all that different companies, Sky,
No,
Virgin,
but,
whatever.
I mean,
Yeah.
you might
You know,
need
you
Netflix,
get- you might-
Disney, and Apple. You know,
Yeah, you could have, and you only watch one.
You can only watch
Yeah.
one. And really, I think people like to have the option, but then you realise, you know what, I've only watched.
Can't afford it.
I've only
Yeah.
watched 2 or 3 things on this month.
Yeah.
I really need
Yeah.
it. Or maybe get it when the month, you know, sometimes there's an offer.
Yeah.
Maybe get it, watch it, exhaust it a bit, as in watch everything you want to. I know,
Yeah.
and the lads inside does that, and then that's it, he's fine, and he'll leave it go.
Moves on. Yeah.
And a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you see, all the streaming thing came in before to combat the rising costs of cable TV in America, especially. But they realise now, if you were to get all the streaming, because they're bringing in all these kind of, like there's Disney, there's Apple Plus, there's Prime.
That's right.
If you add all that up, you're paying more. So, and now they're bringing in this thing, I think Disney are doing it as well, because Disney's gone up to a certain price. They might be bringing in an ad version where it's slightly cheaper, but they're going to pay for it.
They're bombarded you with ads.
So every 10 minutes you're watching it.
Yeah,
so
you're
going back to TV.
It's like watching TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they'll get you because it's cheaper,
Yeah.
because they can offset the cost of it.
Yeah.
And so, really, what was brought in to be economical now is not really.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
And before, do you remember when you got Netflix? Before that was the real main one, and you would have everything under that
That's right.
Netflix umbrella.
Yeah.
Now you can't watch this unless you're Prime or Disney.
Yeah.
So you need them all.
You need them all.
You
Yeah.
know, because
Yeah.
your taste won't all fall under Netflix.
No. There's only so much you can watch on.
What
on
do you
one.
need?
Yeah.
It's about cutting those
Cut back,
kind of
yeah.
things. Now, saying that, you know, you're still combating the mortgage with ridiculous interest rates and stuff. So you still need to negotiate with the banks. But MABs would help with that.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
only
that's-
talking about that.
As you said, you were on to think of ways to tackle the debt, and
yeah. So
you know,
this is, I suppose, depending on your situation, the advisor. There's different advisors with MABs. There's a dedicated mortgage arrears advisor. So if you've already fallen into the pitfalls, if you're already in arrears, that's when it kind of gets dangerous.
Yeah.
You're kind of reneging. Because, you know, when you sign the bottom line of all these loans, you know.
it says underneath, and all of them.
You know, this home can be taken from
Yeah.
you and all that. Long term, I suppose,
Yeah.
yes. But the minute you're in arrears, those arrears need to be
Yeah.
tackled and
Yeah.
looked at. So somebody will help you with that because you have to get out of that. So they have an accountant, actually, with different MABs offices. So, and I think called a personal insolvency practitioner, a PIP. So they help people who can't pay their bills and may need to declare themselves insolvent or bankrupt, you know, if they're unable to. So again, that you can get that on their website, and then you can make an appointment in one of their offices, and it's all very confidential and all that.
Yeah, that must be hard to declare yourself bankrupt, but I suppose, and it needs at
happens in
times. I
business
suppose,
all the
yeah, it
time.
does happen
Yeah.
in business, yeah. But when it's concerning your house or your general life,
Yeah.
I suppose if you need to do it, you know.
The successful businessmen have often been,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Trump has been bankrupt numerous times, and yet
That's
he's
right.
still
You
very
wait
rich
3
now.
years and then you can
Yeah.
start again, and go. Get someone else to start.
Yeah, and you go.
Oh,
It
but your
mightn't work now, but it might
Yeah,
work the next
yeah,
time.
yeah. Sorry, John. One question
Yeah.
I just asked you there as well. Do you know, say, if someone is listening today that is in debt on their mortgage and the whole lot, years ago now, this is going back before all this stuff happens and the whole lot. The people years ago, it happened to me. I hurt my hand many years ago, and I was told I'd be okay if I just kept paying the interest over the 3 months that I was out of work.
Yeah.
And then at the end, then they would take it off me, But that, I don't think that stands anymore. Like if people just pay their interest,
It
is
depends.
there a timing on it?
I don't know. You see, there used to be things like capital only breaks.
Yeah.
So you could, like, say if you suddenly were in between jobs, you could talk to the bank and they could give you a 6-month break. Look, till you get back on your feet, you could do this. We won't charge you interest. It'll be capital. And like if you look at the breakdown of your mortgage, often the interest is the higher.
The interest is the higher.
So that could be quite helpful. But that's something that's bank to bank though. What they offer.
Yeah, it's what they offer. Yeah,
it's what they offer. But you get the advice through MABS or something.
We were lucky; it was also the bank at the time.
Yeah,
when we were doing
we're
it.
gone now.
They're gone. Yeah,
They're
so
gone
that's
now.
another option gone for people.
Yeah.
So.
And I suppose the problem is with the less financial institutions that are available now, the less flexibility they have to be.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're a business.
Yeah,
They're not like the credit union before was set up, and it was all this. We come together to create our own. Like the co-ops,
that's right.
About coming together and offering a decent, well-priced service, and the banks aren't that. The banks, let's be clear, the bank is a business. It's to make money out there. A mortgage is one of the most expensive loans you'll ever take out.
It's probably the most.
It is the most. And they're not there.
Yeah.
There's no people.
They're not there for you. They're there for themselves.
They're there to make money.
Yeah.
They answer to their shareholders.
Yeah.
And, if you're reneging on a bill, a mortgage these days can be up to 300,000, say, for a standard 4-bedroom house or whatever. And, that's it. Like, if there's a load of them, the bank's going to want to come back on that. They paid for that.
Yeah.
And on a loan that's going to cost you a lot more than that.
Which
it's 2.5 times roughly you pay back, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they're going to want their money back. So, they'll work with you because it's probably easier to get the money out of you that way than bring you through court.
Yeah, which is costly to them.
Process, which is costly to them as well.
Yeah. Well,
look, I think the advice you should get is with someone like MABS first, then take that to your bank.
Yeah.
Have that understanding, because the bank will sit down, we'll work with you, of course.
Yeah.
But you need to be educated yourself into what your options may be, but it does vary bank to bank.
Yeah, well,
you need to know what you're talking about.
But that's a good thing. You need to, you have to when you're going into these people.
So they give all that, the legal supports and advice. So you can get a free in-person or online meeting with a solicitor, which is
very good.
They will explain your legal situation and advise you about your options. If you are called to court for repossession proceedings on your home, a duty solicitor or a court mentor will be there to help you at that point.
But that's good as well. So that's very good.
If you can't pay your mortgage, you're not going to have a lot of money there to
to pay for solicitors.
So that is very helpful.
Defeat the
so the duty solicitor may be able to speak for you in court and explain the proceedings to you. Should you like a bit of advocacy, because not everyone is good with that.
No, I would I get the same idea.
And it can be frustrating. It can be confusing. It can be. There's a lot of language that's just a legal language.
It's above your head. Yeah, or goes over your head. Yeah. It's not layman.
Most lay people. So it's good that can be terminology can be explained.
Yeah, but that's good.
So the court mentor can answer any questions you have about what is happening and give you more information about Awalia's supports. Remember though, they can't speak for you in court though.
You have to do your own.
Yeah. There's support like advocacy. So you can get more. You can make an online meeting, an appointment with MABS helpline, and the number. Will I give the number out now, John? Yeah. So it's 0818 07 2000. So it's 0818 07 2000, and do a quick Google of MABS online, and the web page has so much information.
Yeah,
it's very helpful. All this stuff can be engaged online. There's plenty of supports there.
But at least you have somewhere to phone as well, which a lot of people wouldn't be computer savvy.
That's true.
Of an age.
No, they wouldn't.
And at least you can speak to people and make arrangements, go and maybe see them face to face, and which is great as well.
You're right to say that, because even that's something we advocate for in here. We do IT support to get digital literacy built up, because digital literacy is an issue, especially in the digital age, where people just can't.
And it's the way forward now.
It's the way forward.
It's the way forward.
I mean, you remember with the banks, and you go into some banks now, and there's no teller.
That's right.
There's no human being there.
Yeah.
And I've been into rural banks, and they've been honest. It was like a clear out store. It was a shell. And there might be one customer service agent, and there was a couple of machines where it never reads a check properly. But so a lot of people don't want to engage with the digital world, but unfortunately, you kind of have to.
Unfortunately, that's
we provide those supports here. Help people with their online banking, passwords, any of that stuff.
But passwords is not a big thing. Yeah. Because you'll have a password for everything you go into.
You do.
Because it's only for your own security, really, and that's the thing as well. But
you need to get engaged with your online banking. There you can check your balance, what's coming out. And but we besides MABS, we're happy to help with that with people. Should that be an issue? Even
people years ago, like my uncle and aunts and everything, they wouldn't they'd pay through the post office rather than pay for their Virgin TV bill online or anything like that, because they didn't trust it. No, so they actually go down to the post office and pay over the counter with their card.
We're all
It's
direct
this-
debit now, like so,
this mistrust
standing
of it,
orders.
and you can't blame people either because they weren't brought up.
It was look, I remember I grew up in Kerry's Road, and I remember a rentman at the time he used to come out with the brown satchel.
Yeah.
You remember that, Jan?
Yeah, remember that.
And call in every week for the rent.
Call in every week for the rent, yeah.
I remember it.
They'd have the book, then he'd mark you off. Then,
That was it. And that's the way it was done. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't engage with online. There was no online then.
No.
So it was the same. The insurance man used to call. I remember Roy Liver man used to
You
call.
come in, you sit down, have a cup of tea, with
Yeah.
you, and bring in what with these.
And you pay your insurance that way.
These booklets, things, then with all stuff.
Wrote
on it,
into a pad. It wasn't.
No, it was right. Yeah, no book. Yeah,
God
just wrote
forbid
the
he'd
pad,
lose that.
Yeah.
But no, it has. It's different.
Had to move
now.
on, really.
It had to move on.
It was messy, really.
But
you know.
those people that still engage that way are still around, and we have to make sure.
Yeah, they have to be
them,
looked after, and
they're not left behind because,
it's frightening enough to owe money on your mortgage or not being able to meet your bills every week, let alone having to try and be left behind by the computer age. And at least there's a phone number there that they can actually, and people they can go in and actually see.
Do you know? Have we a few minutes there, John? We do.
Yeah.
Well, look, there was another thing, and I think they've outlawed them in some places, but and I remember Wonga and all these things, these payday loans.
Yeah.
And you watch them on TV, and then basically you would get a loan. You're stuck. Oh, something broke, and €500, but you end up paying back nearly 1,500. They were like ridiculous interest rates, and too tempting, especially when things are tight.
When you need money.
When you need money, and they're like, there used to be Provident here before.
That's right.
Do you remember Provident?
Yeah, Provident.
And mind you, if you didn't pay, you got the big guy calling around.
Oh, you would, yeah.
And that was a reputable business, apparently.
Yeah.
And those things to me are disgusting. People, I don't like the idea of people's vulnerabilities and when they're at their darkest kind of times being preyed on by opportunists.
Yeah.
And they might have a big company name, they might have a headquarters, but that's all they are.
At the end of the day, they want the money off you.
Opportunists. Yeah. That's all they are.
There is ones in England as well. I think you borrowed on a Monday and you have to have it paid back by Friday or something.
Payday loans.
Payday loans. How can that work? Like?
And they're making. I think one of them sponsored Newcastle United at one stage.
I think so. Yeah.
I have my own. I don't gambling, football, and all that. To me, is an icky thing. And all these loans and companies, and especially when you're paying back 100, 200%. APR or whatever.
That you don't see.
That you don't,
because you're in
car
such
loan.
a need.
You get a car loan from credit union. It's quite low, the rate. And you say it's fair. They have to make something.
Yeah.
But these ones, how can they say that's fair?
They can't.
Because it's not. And they prey on people at their lowest ebb, like when they're in debt. And you're only putting yourself further in debt, really.
Because you're never going to pay that back. You'll never have that paid back.
And you know it, and the interest accrues.
And you're borrowing off of A to pay B and B then to pay C.
I just think that's despicable to kind of, for people to be that opportunist. But certain things you can't, I don't really like the idea of people in a country making money on it. And, health is another one. And it's a situation, I know that they're reckoning everyone's health insurance is going to start to come up now. There's certain things I don't feel right about. Being part of the capitalist kind of way, and it's, like diabetic medicines, and America had that issue. They brought them down a bit now, but really, like, there was people. I remember in America reading that there was people halving their diabetic medication because they couldn't afford it and they died. And just same with those loans, and when people are, and they're really down in the dumps, and it's very easy to go into depression and stuff with debt. And for these advertising these fun ways of.
And they're popping up everywhere on TV.
Like they're throwing the money at you.
Yeah, throwing the money at you.
They're not showing the part of the ad where the
person's
person's
smiling on the ad then when he gets the money and all that.
I think now there's all those how to sell your car easy. Make a ton, but you don't. It's just. I don't know. I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable.
Yeah, but the same one with the if you're over a certain age and you have your mortgage paid off, you can sell half your house and all this. And get the money
that kind of thing.
That's
we're trying to make ways.
You're after working all your life to try and pay off your house,
making money off things that are that are just feel wrong.
Yeah,
it just feels wrong. It doesn't sit well with me.
No, but it doesn't. Yeah, but people actually in your depths of despair.
Yeah,
it's very easy to turn to these, and
it's one of like anxiety and depression. And the factors that contributed to it, I'd say one of the main ones is debt. And there's grieving, there's loss, there's sickness, there's just people that suffer from it. But it's certainly, if you're anywhere borderline anxious, or you certainly could spiral.
Yeah.
And I just put that's why companies like MABS and all this and company organisations, they are important.
They are important.
They are
John,
very
it's important for people to know that they are out there.
It is, and I know it's all right. It's not a fun subject to it, but it's good to know that it's there.
It's good to know, John, because there is a mountain of people in debt.
Of course, there is
Across our city, across Ireland.
But the cost of living, John. I went in for a sliced pan and a packet of mince coming home from work yesterday. It was €4. No, bread and a packet of mince, €4, and everything's gone up.
Everything's gone up. And see the powers to be don't say that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You know,
and the wages, like the minute. I know we were even talking earlier there that the big problem with trying to get a certain kind of demographic that are on social welfare, and they're wondering why won't you take up employment? Well, if you're unskilled, the gap between the unemployment and minimum wage with all the things you get with being unemployed is very tiny.
Very tiny, yeah.
And how are you supposed to? How's that attractive? So there's
Well, they're going to have to look at incentives to get people to
bring up minimum wage.
Bring it up.
You don't bring down unemployment.
Yeah,
it's to bring up, and these are other things as well, and that will help with debt and and as well make it harder to get. Maybe don't make personal. Do you remember before I used to get these things in the door, and it was like, "Oh, congratulations, you qualify for a 10 grand loan. You didn't ask for it." Remember back in the heady days of nonsense.
Yeah.
The Tiger days.
Yeah, enticing you.
That kind of that stuff needs to be monitored a bit better.
Yeah,
I know they don't do that now, but
no, but it's enticing when that comes in, Sean, and you're
it didn't even apply, and I guarantee you they got many people phoning up taking it.
Yeah,
and then they realise, I'm going to pay this back.
You're probably paying back 15 grand then. Would be with it. With interest and everything.
Yeah.
But John, thanks very much. That was a very interesting show today, and I hope it's helping people out there. It's I know there's people out there listening today that are in the depths of despair through debt. But there is ways of people out there to help you with it,
and look, even if they ring us here at 061 313 993, we'd be happy to pass it on, or as I said, the digital literacy aspect of it, or anything like that. Or there are other people in our area that we can help. Kind of connect them with, which is great. That's no problem.
John, thanks very much for the show today. Brilliant show, and I hope everyone enjoyed it out. And we'd like to say thank you to St Mary's Adult Education and also Limerick City Community Radio for leaving us on the air, the airwaves, giving us the chance to talk to everyone.
Thank you.
So, see you in 2 weeks' time.
Bye-bye.
Thanks very much. Bye.